Coco Kinsey, back at it again on Coco Wednesdays. If you have not, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can become a part of the family. And let's just get into today's topic. Oh my goodness. So I have been following the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and I've been reluctant to speak on it just because I'm a firm believer in letting things play out and try to get a feel for what is being said, what is being talked about, what are the facts, and all you can go off of is the information you have. So I would like to have enough information before I give my opinion on anything. I just think that's fair. And so as I've listened to Amber Heard, I have been it's definitely been entertaining, but at the same time, it's been disappointing. It's been disappointing because as a victim of assault, both sexually and physically, I take issue with some of her testimony just because like I said, it does come across as though she's lying, and there have been several times where she's actually been caught in a lie. Now, I do also know sometimes when you are traumatized, you can get, or when you're traumatized, overwhelmed, whatever you want to call it, you can get tongue-tied, you can get, sometimes you suppress things and you can't remember every single detail. But it doesn't come across as that, guys. It comes across as though she's just, like, not being honest. And for me, she represents what I was scared of when I think about the MeToo movement coming along. Now, I know why, as a victim of assault, why in the world would you be scared of MeToo coming along? Now, first of all, let me say, I have mixed emotions about MeToo. Like, for me, I'm not a huge fan of cancel culture because I feel like it can be very dangerous. However, that's a different topic for another day. But when MeToo came along, as a woman, I was excited because I am totally against a patriarchal society, just because I feel like everybody's voices deserve to be heard. As humans, we owe that to one another. It's a respect, it's a responsibility we owe to each other because we are all playing a part, playing a role in the creating of the society, right? So we should all have our voices heard because we run it together. And so I thought that was beautiful. I also, as a mother of 3 amazing boys, I recognize the dangers of what could come. Now, granted, let me say, I'm a mom who suffers from anxiety, like, no lies about that. Yeah, like, I just thought back about high school, and I thought back about some friends from back then, and I thought this is dangerous. And that's just on a simple aspect. You can think back, ladies, like, if you're listening, or men, we think about sometimes with those vindictive friends, and I know we're young and dumb and sometimes we laugh, but when we think about Me Too coming along now, you think about if a boyfriend made you mad, if a boyfriend cheated on you, the things you could do, like, once you felt like back then, oh my goodness, like, you might kind of be believed, but now it's like, oh, you brush off, she's bitter or whatever. But now it's like we live in a society where overall it's like guilty until proven innocent. And so if you were bitter because JoJo cheated on you and you came back and said, I'm going to get him, I'm going to get his, and you could go and say he's done this, that, and the third. And if it's believed, his life will be ruined over a small moment in time of you being upset. And then you could go on with your life and you could completely move on, and you could even take it back. You could do all these things, like if it didn't play out in court and he was, but the life has been ruined. Society, the community, people around have already decided and written this person off. And that was one of my fears when Me Too came out, because I just saw so many things being pushed forward, which I thought, again, like, I thought for those that were genuine, I thought was great. But at the same time, I also recognized the dangers of that kind of stuff taking place. And also, again, as I am a Black woman, so obviously, and as a Black woman, as a Black mother to 3 Black boys, to a brother, a father, I also think about the cases where men have been wrongfully accused and the dangers that that causes, I automatically think about the George Steinies. I think about Emmett Till. I think about the Scottsboro Boys. I think about Joseph Spell. I think about the Rosewood Massacre. I think about all these things where there have been instances where someone has been accused and later it comes back either it was just a lie or the details are really murky and it's not all that it seemed. And so I think for me, I think I'm, in some ways, I'm almost glad that the case for Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, of course, like if she is lying, no, I hate that for Johnny Depp. I hate it. I mean, for any person to be lied on and to lose things so precious to them because of someone's false accusations. But I am glad because it does give us, or hopefully will create a huge wave where we will be cautious and we can take it, and it doesn't have to be just these type of cases, just the cancel culture that we live in. Let's take a time because we do want to support. And as women, again, as women who have been held back for so long, who have been not believed, I get the overzealousness and the excitement to want to jump right in and believe. And I think we should automatically support. Like if a woman says, if a man says, or anything in between says that they have had something happen to them, I do think they should be listened to. I think they should be supported, comforted, heard out. But I also think that it's okay while supporting to collect the details and to not feel guilty about that. So you can truly, because one, if something actually has happened, you have a better understanding of whatever has taken place, and now you know best how to support this person and support the community going forward. So there is not as much danger, or so you can know the characteristics if someone else comes along. So I think that's a beauty in that. But we also have to remember that the society that we didn't like before, we can't just turn and flip it and become the opposite, and that where it's a female bash kind of, or female, I don't want to say female bashing, but just, we know, let me just say this. We know as females so often, for the females that are listening, males, I'm not excluding you, but I'm just saying, since the beginning of time, females have not been listened to. We have been written off. We have been disrespected, disregarded, tossed off. So we know what it's like. And that actually gives us the upper hand as we're coming into this with a little bit more power. So in saying that, we got to make sure we use our power the correct way, that we are responsible, that we are really making sure that we're not becoming the very thing that we hate. So saying I want to be heard, I want to be respected, I don't want to be disregarded, but I also don't want to disrespect you. Now, if you've assaulted somebody, if you've done, you deserve to be disrespected, okay? But I'm just saying, like for us, as we support each other, and unfortunately, we do live in a society, and there will be more people coming forward that are going to be honest. Let me go ahead and say that now. There are going to be more people coming forward that are going to be honest than dishonest. But for those that are dishonest, they do make it difficult, and we have to be able to weed out those liars. We have to be able to weed out and decipher who is telling the truth and who's not. Now, granted, that all of that does not rest on us as women or as a society. That's what we have courts for. That's to collect and gather that information. But I do challenge us as a society before we cancel people, because we are in a society where we are so quick to cancel. And I get it. I really do get it. Because, I mean, whether it be, in this situation where it comes to just kind of abuse, or, I mean, anything else, like we look at, well, let me not say that, that's a whole nother topic, so if I say, but, there are other situations where people have been canceled, and it comes back that everything was not all that it seems. So I just challenge us to show up better and show up in responsible ways. No, I'm never saying, and I will not say, don't support your fellow sister, your fellow brother, because you should, but again, as a society, we owe it to each other to be responsible, and we owe it to each other to hold each other accountable. And so that just entails to make sure you're listening, to make sure you're getting all those details, and make sure you get people what they need. So if it is professional, whatever it is that's needed, so we can get the whole story, so we can get down to the bottom of it, and so that we make sure that the right people are being canceled. Again, this is not to say I don't know what Johnny Depp did. I don't know what Amber Heard did. Like, I just thought it opened up the door for some good conversation and some good reason to pause. Sometimes, whether we know all the ins and outs of anything as different topics arise, we should always we should be able to, and there is typically always something you can learn from a situation. So in this situation, we will see what the verdict is. But until then, we can use it as a teachable moment. The teachable moment is to pause, and let's listen to each other and truly hear each other out before we cancel. And so that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you, those that listen. I appreciate the support. I'm excited moving forward to see what happens. So if you like what you heard, if you've seen some other videos, definitely don't forget to click that subscribe button. I am definitely all about people empowerment. I'm about women empowerment. I'm about love. I'm about honest conversation. Sometimes we won't agree, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. Meet me in the comments. I am always willing to, have a conversation about different things. And I think it's totally okay for other people to have conversations in the comments. All I ask is that you always be respectful. And I look forward to talking and chatting with you guys next week. Love, peace, many blessings. And I'll chat with you guys soon.